Hello and welcome to Pet Paparazzi Photography, a new YouTube channel dedicated to helping pet photographers worldwide, just like myself. I've been in the industry for nearly 4 years now, and the way I started was by watching YouTube videos to help me learn and navigate Photoshop. So I've decided, after receiving many questions recently, to start my own YouTube and give back to others that are thinking of starting out. Me personally, I learnt best when I could visualize and see what I was doing. So by watching YouTube videos, taking notes and learning from those notes. So I figured, why not use my knowledge and help you guys too. This is my first ever YouTube video, so please be kind. I may be a bit awkward. I'm a bit socially awkward anyway. So for the first tutorial, I'm going to start off with something, I'd like to say simple, but for me it's simple and for you guys it might not be. So I'm going to start off with something small, and we are going to look at creating those deep moody green tones in your photographs, because let's face it, they don't come out like that in camera. I wish they did. It would make greens a lot easier to deal with. Now, a lot of people hate dealing with greens, and I know hate's a strong word, but some people do. Some people absolutely despise greens and editing them because I guess they can be quite difficult, and you might not always get the tones right. So this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I edit the greens to create those deep moody green tones. So enough rambling from me now. I've said hello, so I'll let you watch the video. I hope it helps. If you have any questions or you don't quite understand, let me know in the comments and I will get back to you, or simply join my Facebook group, Pet Paparazzi Photography, tips, advice, support and critique. And if you ask a question on there, I will get back to you, or I'm sure somebody else will. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Hope you enjoy the video. This is the image we are going to be working on. This is Millie and this is my final edited image. I've already set up my layers on Photoshop, so we have a background layer and a subject layer, but for this you want to select your background layer, then we are going to head up to filter, then we are going to click on camera raw filter, then you want to go down to color mixer, and this is how we are going to get those moody green tones. So click on hue, then first we are going to use the yellow and green sliders. So with the yellow slider you want to slide up until you get a very vibrant yellowy green. Then you're going to slide your green slider up to about there. Next we are going to head to saturation, and then again only the yellows and greens, we are going to bring both of those sliders down, and this will desaturate those greens and yellow tones. Then you're going to go to luminance, and again we are going to bring just the yellows and the greens down. And as you can see in my image here, I've got quite a bit of orange tones there, which for me is quite distracting. So I'm going to go back to hue and use my orange slider and slide that towards the yellow. And because my yellow slider is already up towards the green, it's going to blend it in a lot more. Back to saturation and bring the orange slider down, and then again luminance and orange slider down again. And as you can see, the orange has now blended in to the rest of the image. Once you are happy with where the colours are at, you can press OK, but if you want to keep playing, you can keep flicking through the hue, saturation and luminance and keep going until you reach where you want to be. I'm happy with this, so I'm going to press OK. as you can see, our background layer has changed and our subject layer has remained the same. There's a few other steps that I do to get the real deep moody green tones. So once I've edited my background layer, I then add a curves adjustment layer. I'm going to do this the long way and not cheat and use my actions. So you go ahead down here and select curves. Make sure you're on the background layer so that it goes above and not above the subject layer. So from here, I'm going to select the curves layer, and then I'm going to bring this down. I'm going to bring this down, then I'm going to bring this up. So it softens the background a little bit and darkens it a little bit as well. Then I'm going to go ahead and use hue saturation layer. Click on the layer. Again, I'm going to go to yellows, just bring that down, and go to greens and then bring the greens down as well. This isn't quite as deep as I want it, so I'm going to go back to my curves layer and just bring that down. And bring that up. So there is our background layer, curves layer, and hue and saturation layer. And this area is a bit more yellow than I would like, so I'm going to go back into my camera raw filter of my background layer and just try and get rid of those yellowy colours. Now this will change your background layer dramatically with the other layers as well. And because I've used my curves layer, I'm just going to bring my shadows up and my whites up because it went quite dark. There we go. Now we have those deep moody green tones. So as you can see, this is what we started with, and if we click the background layer, we've got the color change. Click the curves layer, and then you've got the darkness and the contrast. Click the hue and saturation, and then it just desaturates the greens and the yellows a little bit. So as you can see, this is no longer a yellowy green here. So that's how you achieve the dark moody green tones.